What is up, everybody, and happy birthday to you? You? Oh, happy birthday to me. It is officially my birthday, so this is my carnivore cut birthday vlog. I am outside getting some sunshine and washing my car. My wife and I have dinner plans this evening to go to Texas de Brazil, which is a Brazilian steakhouse. So you literally just sit there with a little green coin on your table. When you want food, flip it over for red. When you don't want food, and they just come to your table and endlessly slice off cuts of meat for you. Lamb, sausage, filet, other forms of steak, some bacon wrapped chicken, pork, pretty much everything you can think of they will bring to you. I had the salad bar last time I went. It was about a year ago. I'm gonna skip the salad bar this time as well so I can save more room for the good stuff. But yeah, in between now and then, I need to get my car washed for our lovely dinner date tonight. I need to get my hair cut and my face cleaned up a little bit so I can keep up with my wife when we go out. And yeah, get my daughter from school, all the usual stuff. So it is, once this message gets off my watch, a little after 10 in the morning, getting the car washed before the heat of the day comes. And still fasted from last night. My last meal ended about 7:30, so we're well on our way to almost 15 hours already. And I don't know if I'm gonna eat before we go to Texas de Brazil. I may or I may not. I haven't decided, but when I do, I will take you along with me, show you what we're having. And before that, let's get a birthday physique check update. So this is how I'm looking. I don't know that I made as much progress as I wanted to, but what can you do? We're gonna keep the cut going. I'll tell you real quick on this update before the intro gets too long. The hunger is just now really starting to creep in. So obviously this not tracking calories, not counting calories, not tracking macros thing is starting to work. I feel like I'm still in a deficit, although my training is sporadic. The hunger starting to set in. About now we're into the 30-day mark, so I feel like I'm making progress. I'm going to keep going till at least the end of the month, see if I can make any more progress, and hopefully get down to about the 10% body fat mark and see if I can hold it there throughout the winter. And if I need to continue to cut and cut and cut, I will, but I am not going to track anything, so stay tuned for that. But again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys here in a bit when the car's washed. All right, everybody, so car is washed, hair is cut, and before I forget, there's something that's been on my mind lately that's kind of bugging me in the keto, and it's not as prevalent in the carnivore community, but it does come up from time to time with the people who are using the carnivore diet for weight loss primarily. And but it's mostly in some of these keto groups that I'm active in on Facebook. And that's the topic of weight loss. I see a lot of people, and I posed the question to a group the other day. You know, when people are saying, "Help! I've hit a stall. I've plateaued. What do I do?" The first recommendation becomes, "Let's eat more fat," or "You need to eat more fat. You need to eat more fat. You need to track your calories. You need to track your macros. You need to hit more fat. Try 85% fat. Try, 75% or higher. Whatever it is they're doing isn't working." And I'm kind of confused as to why we forget that fat is energy. Now, I know, carbs don't help, and they cause inflammation, and they cause a whole plethora of metabolic disease, which can then, especially processed carbs, which can then lead to the fat gain a little more easier. And in the beginning, when you cut your carbs and you go to a higher fat ketogenic macro style diet, right, when your fats are 75, 85% of your calories, and you cut your carbs, you're going to drop inflammation, and with that comes a lot of water weight, plus your kidneys become a little more efficient. You don't have carbohydrates to help absorb water either, so you're constantly urinating, and with that goes water weight. So you lose a lot of weight quickly, and then it's a couple months later and people are saying, "I've hit a plateau, I hit a plateau." and I see 95% of the recommendations to these people are to up your fats, which I don't understand the logic and the common sense behind why we're trying to help other people hit their weight loss goals by telling them to consume more energy. It's very clear, and I'm not a calories in, calories out person, but it's very clear that they're hitting stalls and plateaus in their weight loss journey because they are already consuming more energy than they're taking in, regardless of how that's happening and the hormonal processes behind it. They are definitely consuming at least the same, if not more energy than they're putting out. And again, the recommendation is to, hey, let's consume more energy. Cut your carbs lower. Listen, I'm zero carb most of the time, right? I'm zero carb carnivore. Occasionally, if I want some cauliflower rice to make stir fry or some honey or some berries with my kids or something, then yeah, I'm ketogenic on those days, but I'm still 90 to 97% of the time animal food based, keto carnivore. So I'm zero carb. I can still gain weight. It's not, it's not impossible to gain weight when you don't have carbohydrates in the mix. It's possible regardless. You can store fat as fat. You can turn carbs into fat, which is even more inefficient and harder for your body than storing fat as fat. If you overeat fat, it is easier to store that extra fat as adipose tissue than it is to store extra carbohydrates as adipose tissue, because at the end of the day, fat is most similar to fat, and when you eat carbs, your body has to, de novo lipogenesis and go through a process to turn those carbs into fat. And it's hardest to store protein as anything. Gluconeogenesis is demand driven, meaning you have to be in a dire situation where you are desperate for energy for your body to start breaking down amino acids and using that for energy. So the recommendation, and my recommendation to people who who look at the title of this video and are struggling with weight loss would be to up your protein to energy ratio. And if you haven't heard of Dr. Ted Naiman, I encourage you to go check out his work on YouTube, podcast, wherever it is you like to find people. Dr. Ted Naiman, the protein to energy ratio, right? So you need to lower your energy consumption in percentage and up your protein. So that might look like, for a lot of people, getting rid of MCT oil and butter and coffee and fat bombs and all this other stuff we're doing, or artificially eating nothing but straight fat trimmings instead of the whole animal or the whole ribeye or whatever it is. So do yourself a favor, look into the protein to energy ratio and use common sense. If you are struggling with your weight loss and reaching your lean body mass goals or your weight loss goals, it is common sense to know that you should eat less energy. I'm not saying eat less calories. You can keep the calories the same. Replace that energy with protein and the results will come. So after that 5-minute rant, we're going to get on with our day. It is about 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten yet, but I am starting to get a little hungry and I'm trying to leave as much room in my stomach as I can for the all-you-can-eat meat feast tonight at Texas Day Brazil. So if I eat something, I'll bring you along, show you what I'm having. Thank you for listening to that rant. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys here shortly. Hello there, me again. And it is a little after 2 o'clock, time to eat. I'm not super hungry, but I'm gonna eat just because I'm kind of getting that feeling going. And what I'm going to have is about 1.5 cups of this bone broth. I actually found this morning at Publix, one of the supermarkets here. And it has the highest potassium amount per cup that I've seen so far in a bone broth, which is 500 milligrams. It also has 300 milligrams of sodium. So I'm going to make a little broth out of that. I'm going to put three whole eggs in the broth, let them cook in there, and then I have some, well, I guess I just show it to you, some shredded pork tenderloin that we made last night in the crock pot that I'm going to add to that as well. So it's going to be a relatively lower energy lunch and higher protein lunch. And again, I'm trying to burn body fat, so I am okay having some lower fat foods and higher protein just to keep me satiated throughout the day. So we got that going. Gonna get the food down, go get my daughter from school, and I'll see you guys later. All right, we made it to Texas de Brazil. Food has started coming. Here's my go and stop token. We picked a nice, same seat we were in last year, so my wife can be teased by all the wine. Time to dig in. Calling it quits. After about 2 pounds of meat, I am done. Texas de Brazil, good as always. 2 pounds of meat down. Now we're heading back for the kids. All right, everybody, time to wrap up this vlog. I want to thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below. When you do, hit the bell icon so you can be notified every time I post a new video. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for joining me on my birthday / anniversary dinner last night as well. And I hope you found something valuable when it comes to trying to pinpoint why you're struggling, losing weight, breaking through plateaus, etc. Protein to energy ratio. Don't eat more energy when you're trying to burn stored energy. Again, with that said, thank you for tuning in, and until the next time, keep up the hard work, and I'll see you in the next video.